Hello, testing, testing, testing. Okay, that can be heard. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. Alrighty, here we go. We are live. First stream of the day. Welcome, J Mace, to J Mace's Trades channel. Here we go. You can see we got here a little late. Took me a little bit to get this stream all set up. This is Central Standard. I don't know if there's a way for me to change it. I'm on Eastern, so we are 30 or not 32, 22 minutes into the stream. Um, Nothing crazy yet. We have data here in 8 minutes. You can see very different. Nasdaq kind of pushed up. So pre-market Nasdaq pushed up. We saw a little sell-off, and now we're back to where pre-market highs were at. Let me go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and draw that over roughly pre-market highs. Right there. You can see definitely a different story. Um, on ES here, you can see the same push up. Sell off was a little stronger, but you can see differentiates like right here. NQ saw a nice push up versus ES has been consolidating nowhere close to where its pre-market high is. You can see that ES did come up and reject this supply zone right here from here to here. Supply, the last green basing candle before the big large move down. So it came up and got some supply. And have seen a push down here. Um, so that is nice. They both also formed a nice demand here on the 2 hour. Basing candle, large move up. So we have a supply and we have a demand on both NQ and ES. So supply right up here near the pre-market highs and demand down here near your pre-market lows. So that is what we're watching today to see what we're going to trade between. Where they're going to go up, test supply, look for rejects, go down, test demand, um, look for bounces. And the only thing we're currently or could be watching is the fact SMT divergence, the fact that NQ is at pre-market high, and we'll see if it continues to push or if it wants to look like it's going to sweep or not. So maybe we'll sit here and be patient. Like I said, we do have data. Let's see. The data is at, let's see if I can get this market watch to load. Data is today. We had that at 8:30 today, which is trade deficit. That at 9:45 and that at 10 ISM services. That does usually tend to at least get some sort of reaction out of the market. So we'll patiently watch and see. Um, see what we can get. I'll go ahead and change this back to a 5 minute. Pretty choppy open so far this morning. So very choppy open. We'll also go ahead and draw this out, this here, that line there would be our cyst change in state of delivery. So up here, this is our pre-market high. So basically what we'd be looking for is this to be swept. We reject up here, and then we would come down and close below this because a change in the state of delivery is a drive when we drive up into a zone or a key level, we sweep it, and then you close below. So it's the opening point of the candle of the move that causes you to go up into that level where and then it is therefore swept. So we have the opening print of the candle, and then we have the move that pushes us up into a key level. In this case, the key level was pre-market high. If it would get swept, you would see us come down here, and then we'd look for a close below. Close below this would confirm a change in the state of delivery, and then we could go short. So we could look for a short entry here. And for assist, it doesn't have to be the candle that it's where it is swept. So it's the candle that begins the move. So in this case, pre-market high, so the move would be up. So these three candles were what began the move to go up to pre-market high. So that is why we choose this candle, the opening print of it. That is why we choose that candle to be where the base, what our base of our cyst, CISD, that's the abbreviation for it, our cyst. Um, and that is an ICT concept. So then let's see if this could possibly be, we got above pre-market high, keep making each smaller highs. We swept liquidity here, possibility, nothing guaranteed. And then we would have that another ICT concept. We'd have the divergence, an SMT divergence. This would be between NQ and ES. You can see I marked that pre-market high here on NQ, and then we have pre-market high over here on ES. You can see they are very far apart. Normally NQ and ES are in sync, meaning they take out relatively close, are making equal highs and equal lows and taking out important highs and taking out important lows. At the same time, that is not the case right here. You can see ES took out and made highs above pre-market high right here off open this morning, and ES is very far away from it. So if this would sweep and reject and not be able to push above pre-market high, this could be a bearish divergence between the two, indicating that a bearish move is actually waiting to be had. Um, so that is currently what we are looking for now. It is 10:01, so we did just have the data drop, which really not looking for anything, or excuse me, not no big move really off of that. Okay, so there we go. Made new highs. Both are making new highs intraday. We are trading. I am using a prop firm. This is the first day that I've trading this account. We're using Tradeify. In my opinion, that is the best prop firm out there. Really simple rules, relatively cheap accounts, and just very good transparency. I think they're very upfront, open, and honest. No history of denials. The rules are straightforward. You make the rules, you get a payout. I'm using a 50K. I'm using a growth account. So you know, rules here. I need to make $3,000 profit, so the total is 53,000. I have a $2,000 max drawdown. You can see right here, $2,000 drawdown. So right now, and this is an end of day drawdown. So right now my account is at 50,000 to begin with. So right now, if I'd get liquidated at 48,000, it does have a daily loss. The daily loss is $1,250. Um, the account cannot be blown in one day. That is nice. I honestly like that. I shouldn't really be losing that much in one day either, but it's kind of it's like tilt protection, which I do like. So 53,000 is the target. They do have no minimum days to pass the evaluation, so that's nice. But I would need a big day and catch a massive trade to pass this account in one day. Um, usually when I enter a trade, I'm looking to keep my losses at about $300 a trade. So depending on where my stop would be will depend on my size. So trading micros, most of the time we'll trade up to 10 micros. You can see I have it here set to 5. Uh, so let's see. Rules once to live. It does have a 35% consistency. Your biggest day of profit can't be more than 35% of your total profits. Um, you can trade up to 5 minis on this slash 50 micros. Let's see. You need 7 trading days to get to a payout. Those 7 trading days, you have to have 5 days of at least $150 profit. I think the minimum payment on a 50K account or payout is $500, and I think your max on your first payout is 1,500. They have scaled. They have like scalable payouts, so I think the max is like 1,500. Then the second is like 1,750, and then it's and then 2,000, and then it's 2,500 on your fourth, and then I think after your fourth payout it's uncapped and you can take out how much ever you want. Um, and then take out how much ever you want up to $100,000. And then they also do have they are a firm who actually does take their traders live, so they do have that. They do actually take traders live, which is nice. Um, I think for live, unless you're crushing it, they look for at least three payouts before they would consider you moving to live, and then you get a email from risk management team. But um, let's see, watching two things right now. S&T divergence between NQ and ES, or to see if we get push up into supply or rejects. Alrighty. This is the thing about trading. It is a waiting game, and you definitely have to be patient and wait for your setup to come. This is the thing. It does take a while to learn technical analysis and learn the market and like find your edge within it, and it definitely has a pretty like steep learning curve. You know, but once you get going and find something that works for you, the main thing is just being able to handle the markets mentally and emotionally. Um, because that'll what makes or breaks you. There are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of different strategies out there that work. Everybody has to find what works for them. But then once you find a strategy that presents itself and you back test it and it's profitable, and you know it's a high probability, it creates high probability setups for you day in and day out. Well, not even day in and day out. Just creates high probability setups for you to trade and take, because you do not have to trade every day. That is a bad habit to get into. You should only trade when your system and setups are present. But once you get into it, then it really comes down to just being able to manage the emotions. Um, so let's see here. Show you guys what I'm looking at. Oh, how do I do this? Where is box? I want a box. Shapes. Rectangle. Boom. Let's see, we got it on both. So this is a little fair value gap. that we are looking at. All right, let's see. We really would be looking to turn this. I like this better as an inverse fair value gap, meaning so we have an imbalance in the market here. You can see there is a gap between the top of this candle. So this candle, so we have this candle. This is a high. We have an impulse move, okay, and then we have the open of this candle, and we have the low of it. You can see then this right here is a gap. So these two candles don't, the wicks or any part of the body, the wicks, nothing. They don't interchange, they don't overlap. That is a gap. That is an imbalance in the market. It's what's called a fair value gap. This is another ICT concept. Um, a second, we might be getting an entry here. Let me go ahead and look and actually pay attention to this. Let's see. Oh, where are my stops going to be? Um, we would need to close below this fair value, close below this to for this to work. Um, but this is an imbalance in the market. So it can be looked at as a spot for a bounce, or it can be inverse, meaning this is a failed gap. We came in here, and actually the liquidity, the people, what could have been a liquidity and imbalance of the market, because you can see we blew right past this, and buyers could have been stepped up, but they failed and they switched to shorts. And so what we would be looking for is this would be like the S&T divergence shorts. This would confirm shorts. Plus we fail this, sweep this high, and look, we should go lower. I am going to go ahead and get in here. 10 contracts, we're short.
Order filled.
We want to look for a close. Close below here, we're short at 22.3475. $34.75. Our stop's going to be what would be halfway in this little zone here in this fair value gap, which is going to be basically 23.250. We would love to see a close below right here, because this would make this assist. This would now be our next assist. A change in state of delivery, continue to push up, which we sweep. So this is the beginning of the drive. So we'd love to see a close below right here to push lower. Um, why want this? So we'll see if we can get a push lower here. We'll look for a target here. That basically give me a 30-point move. And then we look for, close below here. We'd then target actual intraday lows. So actually I will go ahead and put my, let's see, sell 10 limit. Let's get my stops in. There's my stops. Stops are in. Um, Alrighty. So a loss would be about 15 points. That's gonna put me right at about a $300 loss. Um, so that's okay. It's acceptable. We did not quite get to 30. Well, we might have actually got basically right to 30, which would have put me right at a 2R. But we're gonna look for this break below. This will be my first target for some take profit. Um, so we'll see what happens. Just be very patient. Have my hard stop in. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You can see we are really hovering back what is around that pre-market high area. Uh, Alright, we'll get ready to go ahead and take some off here. We'll take a oh, not 55. Looking to take. See if we can get below that low. Would really like to see us get below that low. And then we take five micros off. That would be half our position.
Order filled.
Alright, we went ahead and took 5 contracts off at 23 uh 23 198.25. I don't know, that puts us at like 35 points. Um, we've locked in probably about like 300 bucks. So now we're gonna focus on trailing this and catching this move down. Gonna look for now a close below here. Start looking for pre-market lows, or not pre-market lows. Look for intraday lows. That'll be a big target. You can see that ES is about ready to make. ES gets made intraday lows. Oh gosh, let me go ahead and close this. Do 90. Let's see. I need to move my stop. Alright, there's my stop. Adjusted that. Still really want to give this thing room to breathe. Um, like I said, would love to see a new low a day made, an intraday low a day here. Would love to see that be made. Let's see. Now, I actually might take 2 more off. We'll see how we react in this area. Because now it's all about managing risk. This is not a losing trade. We will make money on this. So now it's all about how much money we're going to make. So we want to manage this. We want to give it enough we want to give it, enough room to work and continue to give me the opportunity to make more money. Um, because now this is like a stress-free trade. It's not if we're going to make money, it's how much money are we going to make, which, who doesn't love to be in that position, wondering how much money they're going to make, knowing they've already made money, not am I going to lose, am I going to risk anything? Um, it is a very nice position to be in. All right, let's see. Are we going to get stopped out? There is a possibility of that. Would have loved to see us make that low. But technically, this is another. Technically, this could be another SMT. Yeah, we're looking like.
Order filled.
Yeah, we just got stopped. Oh dang, I messed up big time.
Order filled.
Yeah, oops. That was not a stop. Yeah. So I accidentally sold 5 more right there. Um, got pretty lucky. So when I clicked, I hit sell to limit when I should have hit buy. Or well, I had 5, so I hit I had it said 5, but I hit the sell 5 limit, and it should have been buy 5 limit. But that's okay. Um, so we're one trade in. Um, one trade in, first trade in on this. On this account, we're up you know, up $771. Um, off this SMT divergence plus inverse fair value gap. Like I said, would have loved to target this intraday low, but that did not happen. Really thought we were gonna get to see a start of a bigger move with this cyst, but that's okay. We got short at 234.75, and we got out at 198. Yeah, 198 is our exit. So we caught 35 points. Um, really probably did a bad job of managing that trade. We were up for sure, up $1,000 at one point. Um, we're for sure up 1,000 at one point. Managed wrong. I definitely should have. When I said I was thinking about trimming 2 more down here, I should have. We were close enough to this next target that I was looking for, and especially with like this is where I need to get better as a trader. Um, we did see that ES made new lows, which means that Nasdaq should have too intraday lows, and now here we are. So this is an SMT divergence because ES swept intraday lows, Nasdaq didn't. Um, you can see we have what would be a fair value gap right here. So we could watch that for an inverse. Uh, it's not my favorite thing, so I'm not going to watch it, but we could have, and that's why I should have taken some off as, and it could be a setup that might develop. But that's why I should have took some off. Um, should have took some off down here again and to lock up more profits, but that's okay. Still very happy so far with this today. So now moving forward, position sizing will be lower, and I will not be giving this $771 off up if I take another trade. Um, let's see. And also, I should have known that this is an area for us to bounce because ES is down here in its demand. So now we sit back and wait and look for what time was this? It was 10:10. And look for the next setup. Here. Now see, let's see what happens. This could be all right. This is it. Now, see, move back up. This is why we have our stops. We did, we managed this trade correctly. We trailed down. The only thing I wish we would have done better is would have got a trim. And you can see just what I was talking about here. Um, you see, we swept this low, intraday low. It swept. ES swept it, made new intraday lows. Nasdaq did not make new intraday lows. And yes, got over that inverse fair value gap, and boom, big push up. Was not my favorite thing in the world, so did not feel as if it was a setup that I wanted to trade. But Um, so here we go. Now we sit and we be patient. Once again, we're back to the boring part of trading. Nothing that I'm really watching or looking for here. Alrighty. Let us see what is happening. Dang, that's loud. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okie dokie. Let's see. So I think we're gonna see a move higher up here. Um, yeah, like so then the trade up would have been swept this lows intraday. Nasdaq didn't. That is an SMT divergence, creating a bullish divergence. You would have seen here fair value gap created, inversed it, and upon that inverse could have gotten long here. We are at another, you can see we made a fair value gap here. We just closed above that fair value gap, and I think we're going to push towards probably, we'll see if we can close above, and if we inverse that, see push for high of day. Um, Nothing that I necessarily super like or am willing to try, so I'm sitting out. At this point, I would really like to see an expansion, a range expansion. I'm not really wanting to take another trade within this range, so I would like to see a range expansion. So we will see. See what continues to happen. This is the really easy part to get greedy. You can think, oh, I'm already up $700. Like I could make more money and I could get to 1,000, and then I would be 1/3 of the way through this. I'd have 1/3 of my goal. But and I mean that's like a natural thought process. Everybody deals with it and thinks that way. But that's when you got to control your emotions and not overtrade and only trade valid setups. And a great way to do that then is and I'm gonna go ahead and help myself out on that. We'll go down to 5. Is to lower risk, lower size. Last time I did 10 10 micros, I caught 35 points, and I made $770. With 5, I would need to double that and lose. So let's see, that'd be 70. I'd have to lose 70 points to give all this back, which that would not be the case. I would never want to give back all this profit. I would probably only be willing to give up about 270 of this, so make it a $500 day. That'd be willing to lose if I would take another trade. We might see a move down here now. Back again, you can see we failed to close above this gap, so we might see another move down. But like I said, nothing that I'm really looking forward to, nothing that I'm really looking at and looking to trade. Nothing high probability in my opinion in this range. Um, Especially since I think ES is giving kind of indicating that it could go up and go higher. I think ES makes a better case for pushing higher than NQ does. So I'm not gonna trade when I'm not getting full good signals. Um, and that's just being really picky with, and that's just part of being picky with your trading and deciding what's worth the risk and what's not. You never want to put on more than you're willing to lose. Don't The name of the game isn't to make money. The name of the game is protecting your capital and deciding how much you're willing to lose, because that's pretty much the only thing you can really control is how much money you're willing to lose. So, in my opinion, on this setup, it's just not there. So we will sit and patiently wait. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a new high of day here. Alright, ES just made new high of day. I would love to see NQ continue to make a new high of day. See if we can get a range expansion. See if we can get a range expansion here, and push up into where our supplies. There's no way. I don't think there's a way to delete. Ugh. This is one thing I don't like about Tradeify, and one bad thing. I don't like any of the places, any of the charts, or the, I guess it'd be the brokerages or whatever that you compare or offer with on um, on prop firms. I don't like Tradeify. I wish I could click on this and delete this and not have to remove everything. Let me see. All right. So we both. All right. So we're in sync now. We got a range. We both made new highs. Let's see if we do go up and test. If we do go up and if we test test our supply up above or not. Oh man. Mm, alrighty, we're good. We're nice in sync, making new intraday highs at the same time. Now for supply, I do not like I like to see quick moves up into supply, grab liquidity, and that would be the only reason why I would take shorts. If we're slow grinding, slow steady up, I do not like to fight the trend. I have learned in my experience and been killed by that many times, unfortunately, trying to fight the trend. So I like to see quick moves into supply slash demand to get that liquidity and then see the reversal that we are expecting based off where we believe the liquidity will be in these zones. So slow grinds up, I do not like to fight against. I have lost too much money doing that. Oh, that's cool. Learn something new about how to do this. Alrighty, so let's see. Um, supply zone is the supply zone that I'm looking at is from here. Is right here. No, don't do that. Oh, I can't. Usually use in the past I've traded with Thinkorswim, but that's obviously not an option for stuff like this. So here we are. So this is the supply zone, green basing candle. I guess that way you guys can visually see where I'm looking. I will go ahead and mark that out also um, on the NQ, so you can visually see kind of where I am looking and what I'm looking to trade. Oh, see, candle, small green basing candle, big move down in the opposite direction. Supply is created in this candle. We take the top wick, bottom wick. That gives us the top and bottom of the zone. There we go. Can go ahead and delete that now. And now we patiently wait again. It is 11:03. I do not usually trade past like 11:30-ish. Um, I was a little late getting to stream this morning, trying to get everything set up. Hopefully that will not be the case continuing moving forward in the future. The goal is to be live about 9:15. We'll go over what my pre-market plan is for you. What my pre-market plan is, what I'm looking for on the day. Sit here talk about that. Um, so hopefully, we'll go from usually each Monday to Friday each day from about 9:15 to about 11:30 is what I envision myself doing every day right now. Looking at Getting a small little pullback here, possibly. Cool off in the trade or in the momentum. Let's see if we continue to go higher here. Yeah, I'll give the market about 23 more minutes of my time. At 11:30, I'm gonna log off, close this down, be done for the day. Don't usually like trading price action later than 11:30. If I do, it usually would be in the afternoon, about like 1:30 to 2. It's when I would really like looking. Don't really like the rush, but you know, we're not don't trade to make as much money as possible. Trade to try to get some freedom. Obviously, this isn't a real $770, but it's part of the process that I'm showing to you with this through this YouTube channel and part of the journey. Um, so after this, we'll go ahead and go touch some grass and move on with life. Doo-doo-doo. Let's see, continuing to push up. NQ making new high day. It's nice. Yeah. Let's see, we're about to where the supply zone is. Would love to have seen the move be a little quicker than what it currently is, but that's okay. All right, let's see. This would be another SMT divergence here set up. See, made new high day, intraday high day here, swept liquidity. Yes, did not. We do have what would be, not what would be. What is a fair value gap right there? We also have that same thing over here on NASDAQ. From like there to there. So we'll go ahead and see what happens here with this. We may push down, we may not. Um, that is something I would be willing to watch. Also, something we could watch even if we do continue to push up and then reject out of supply. If we miss like we get into supply, we push up, we sweep some liquidity up there, and we reject and I miss an entry. We can use this as an entry. A close below. That can also be used as an entry for shorts as a possibility. So we sit and we patiently wait. Alrighty, there we go. So we did not inverse that fair value gap. We actually use this as a fair value gap. We did not inverse it. Let's see if we can go ahead and make some new highs here and get up into that liquidity zone or supply zone where would possibly be looking for some sort of reject. Alrighty, we are now in this zone here on NQ. Would really ideally like to see a spike up into it with a reject. This has been kind of a slow, nothing crazy. We did create a little, this was our created our imbalance here, move up, came back, retested it, you know, used this imbalance as a fair value gap, and used that um, as a move up into to propel us to new high day. So, alrighty there. This would be nice, nice. This would be the move up. Both now, everything's really in sync. Large aggressive move as we're creating. Um, new high, new high day here. Um, we will see if we can get some type of reject. Which, get like a hat caught that nice trade on ES. But the trade of the day would have been flip this. We got long. We had this demand. Swept this intraday low. NQ didn't, creating an SMT divergence. That in confluence with the demand down here on ES, boom, inverse fair value gap. That would have been the play um, on the day. It'd be up like 20 points right now on ES, but we don't catch them all. You also have to think while this the move up was happening, we were in the beginning of shorts here. Um, so we're also kind of looking for the move down to continue, and I messed up here by not putting my limit order. Got lucky because I accidentally added more into the position, so I got a little lucky there, and so then I guess closed the whole thing. So we weren't in the best of mindset anyways. Alrighty, let's see here. You can see we got a small tiny reject right up here on ES. Um, and now we just made New high day. That's not a strong enough reject for me to have wanted to short. It is looking like it is going to be. A slow grind up here, and with 8 minutes left before I trade, probably not looking to necessarily take anything. We are getting closer to a key zone um, here on ES 63, 64.5. The reason why I like that is when I am that is the opening print of the candle, and then you have the closing print. I use those as um, areas to look possibly for rejects, because this is obviously a big zone. So really, I like seeing reject right at the beginning of the zone, the top of the zone, and then I use the opening and closing prints. So basically, the body of the candle then to look for areas, because obviously this is, I mean, like 20 points. This is a 20-point area, almost a little less, 15, 17 points. That's a long, large place to be looking for rejects. So I do use the body, the opening and closing print to help me determine where rejects might happen. Um, and also, I guess helps having those marked out kind of helps manage places, places to manage risk, places to stop out, and so forth. Um, so we continue to trade in this zone. Continue to make this push up. 5 more minutes. Alrighty, let's see here. Alrighty. It's 11:26. Gonna get ready and go ahead and sign off for the day. This was the first live stream done for my journey. Welcome to J Mace Trades channel. I know I'm here just talking to myself, but that's okay. It's part of the grind. Didn't also share this with anybody. Gonna have to go back and make sure I did everything right. See, make sure that's not all messed up. Listen to this later. Um, I will post trade recaps on X. Go ahead and follow. I think I put my X, formerly known as Twitter, my X account, down below. Follow me there and be along the ride with me on this journey. That's gonna be all today. Peace out and see y'all tomorrow.